tension available to us as a piece of.
We're looking at the floorboards today, seeing how they fit. As you can see, Peter has some cleats on the sides of his bulkheads here, because these bulkheads are just a little too narrow. What's that?
Well, this wants to move.
And so all should work. Not too bad. I think
bit.
that's a little.
Yep. A little
There
shy.
you go.
I'll make it precise. Precise. Okay.
That looks perfect. That should be the same place.
It should be. It's going to be the place,
Yeah.
whether it's a new place or the same place. This is the place. It's its new home. Anything's out, it's the hull of the boat.
Yeah.
Fearlessly, he holds his fingers under the drill.
Yeah.
I mean, great confidence in how he set it.
So there's this stern where the rudder mounts. And this thing is a template for it. So here's the problem. You can't simply mount these brackets normal to this curve, because they're not in line with one another. And the minute you start to turn the rudder, they're going to bind up, even if you could mount it like that. So at the very least, they have to be in line with one another, such that when it rotates, they're all on one shaft. The other problem is you don't want them too close together, because you got no leverage to hold the forces of the rudder. You'd like them spread apart as far as you can get them. So I can get them pretty far apart like this. And by the way, the pin on the lower one, which is smaller, this pin is shorter than this one. They're not the same size, so that when you're mounting the rudder, you can put in one at a time. You put the longer pin in first. Once that's in, then you can move it on down and slip the lower one in. But as you can see, setting them up so that they're pointed at one another, I'll never get this bracket on here. And on the other end, I'll never get this one off. Okay, if I move this one out far enough so that I might get the bracket on, it's short, and so there's very little of it gripping the wood. So that says I probably should reverse them. Okay, now I've reversed them. Now the longer pin is down here. And you can see that I'll never get this bracket on and off this pin without chopping away some of the rudder. And on this end, this bracket would have a tough time going on there because it's coming into this rounded part there. And of course, the extra long one here I can cut down quite a bit. So one solution would be to cut this away. That allows this bracket to go on. And then you'll have to cut some of the stern post away to allow this bracket to go on. And of course, these brackets are going to have to be mounted in the stern post, not normal to the stern post, just as they're not normal to this curve on the rudder. They're going to have to be mounted so that they'll slip on to the pins, which means they're in at an angle on the stern post.